Welcome back to another video here on Beyond the Console. If you are new to this channel, I'm going to keep saying this until people find me and I get a subscriber. I currently have just started this channel, and the aim and the hope is that maybe people will hear my wheel talk episodes on GTA and they will support and get behind what we're doing. But now, for real, if you are new to the channel, it'd be awesome if you could subscribe, drop a like if you do go on to enjoy this video and find this interesting. And this one's going to be a very, very good one. We're going to be talking about video gaming being dead. Is video gaming dead? So the idea, and this is something that I found myself saying at times, I've also heard other people saying this, is that video gaming is dead. Now, it's a weird one because by numbers, gaming is as big as it's ever been. Obviously, the gaming industry is raking in absolute billions on billions on billions with all of these different games. You know, we've had, well, there's many games. There's GTA that we're playing right now. There's the Call of Duty community, Fortnite. I'm just going to start with those. But there's many, many games, of course, that generate mass amounts of revenue for these gaming companies. But this is the thing. When we kind of look at gaming now in 2025, there are just so many games that it's effectively like a pay to win, or a battle pass, or a loot box, or something involving money. Even GTA, shark cards, you know, all of these different things. Everything is a cash grab now from these companies. You know, so many games seem to come out, and that is what it is centered around. It's not actually centered around what the game was originally built on, or what gaming was originally built on. Everything is now a cash grab. Now, I speak from kind of like experience, having been around like Call of Duty and seeing how that has been. And the amount that it has changed over the years to just basically become about money and them bringing in money themselves has changed the game drastically. And so many people from that Call of Duty community that kind of grew up on it, certainly people that I grew up with that I know, nobody plays Call of Duty anymore. But back in the day, everybody played Call of Duty. Now, to this very day, I don't know exactly the numbers in terms of where people are now with a game like that to where they were. However, I know that that is what a lot of people say. It's a very interesting one in terms of the reboots and the remasters and sequels and remakes and all this kind of stuff to do with games now. You know, so many games seem to be coming out these days and everything is so repetitive. I'm going to talk about the FIFA franchise, which is now known as, I even forget what it's called these days. Whatever the FIFA franchise has now been renamed to, basically EAFC. I think it's EAFC, yeah. That franchise, that game, has pretty much just been a copy and paste for as long as it's ever been a thing, you know? Like, it's just been a copy and paste every year with a few new players being added. Every year it comes out, you get the same sort of thing. Everybody's on it. They're trying to build up their teams and, you know, spending all their bloody hard-earned money to do so. It's a crazy thing. And it just repeats the cycle every single year with that game. And there's many other games, like I say, that are like this too. There's a lot of games these days that seem to come out and they haven't even finished. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077, you know, this game, Battlefield 2042. These games, they come out, there's all this like hope and this belief behind them. And obviously when they do come out, you know, they don't live up to the expectations. This is the thing. Obviously for me, I'm doing GTA driving and chilling. So in the end, I hope that this will get to GTA 6 and I'm extremely excited for GTA 6. I think that GTA 6 will, if there is a debate to say that gaming is dead, it will not be dead, in my opinion, come that game. I don't believe that game will fail. I believe that will be the game that we expected other games to be over the years. We've waited a heck of a long time for it. Don't get me wrong on that. That is another thing to add to everything that I'm saying here. The amount of time that we've had to wait for games like this has obviously had a massive effect. However, I will say that GTA 5, if you really do look at it, you realize just how well it has actually been able to hold up over these years. And that is something to take note on. But officially, unbelievably, crazily, we are at 12 years since GTA 5 released. And there has not been another GTA since. And we now know that it will be the 26th of May in 2026 that we do get GTA 6, which takes us to a 13-year difference between the release of GTA 5 and GTA 6, which is, how it ever got that long, I will never know. I'll be honest, I think we should probably be seeing GTA 7 May the 26th, 2026 at the very least. You could have even made the case to say we could have been at GTA 8. But you know what? As they say, sometimes it's worth the wait. So I really hope it is in that sense. But I think for a lot of people, what it really is they miss kind of like the old days. Sometimes we can never realize what the old days were or relive the old days. And I think that people always are trying to do that. You know, people miss just the way that even Xbox Live was back in like 2013. If you were there at that time, you know, you will know 2011, 2012, these kind of years. And there is a lot of like nostalgia when you see that kind of thing, you know, the way that it was. I mean, you go back in the day, and again, unless you were there, you kind of don't know, you miss the times. But like the way that it even was, I remember going into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 games, and the amount of carnage that was going on in those games, the amount of just people chatting backward and forward to each other was just so different to what it is these days. Nowadays, I feel like you go into a lot of games and you're struggling to find a single person that actually speaks. Whereas all those years ago, every single person was speaking, and usually in quite an aggressive tone. Usually it was quite a heated thing, but I don't know, there was something about it where you had to be there to understand it. It was a crazy thing, but it definitely doesn't feel like that these days. I suppose the other thing to add is that there's fewer kind of like crazy moments, you know, nowadays. I remember just like, there's a classic one from Call of Duty, certainly, where it was like, "Mom, get the camera out." And there's this kid and he's freaking out and he's hit like a crazy shot. And he's just going crazy, and you hear it down the microphone coming, like, well, kind of coming back to what I'm saying on all of this. And he's screaming, he's shouting, he's going insane. And the whole entire lobby, you just hear all these people just laughing and shouting. Oh my God, everybody's, you know, there was just so much life. There was so much life in like the co-op games. But now I feel like the games don't really have that now. And we also, again, I've said this in another video, but like it's the attention spans as well now. You know, now gaming is almost competing with like TikTok clips, YouTube, and, you know, all this kind of stuff, streaming even, you know, all these different things that grasp our attention so fast. But you don't necessarily think about that when you're playing like a slow story mode game. You know, it can at times be very hard to almost get into it. And I sort of like found myself thinking this even with Red Dead Redemption. You know, Red Dead Redemption, I think, is an absolutely unbelievable game. I generally think that Red Dead Redemption, probably certainly at this current moment in time when I'm making this video, Red Dead Redemption 2, for me, might be the most beautiful game that there is. But the gameplay itself, in comparison to what we're used to with GTA, is so much slower that I think for a lot of people, they struggle to get into that slower pace. And that is another thing, again, touching into like attention spans in this modern day of social media, how, you know, that is having an effect on how people would say gaming is dead, because the simple things are not as great as what they once felt. They feel now not as rewarding. You know, it's almost like it's always got to be this thing that's moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Otherwise, people just say it's no good. But what I will say is this: for the future of gaming, and again, I do think that GTA 6 itself will be the one that really shows everything fully. I think that the future is very bright for gaming. I think that AI kind of combined with gaming is going to be a game changer. I think it's going to be an absolute game changer, and you're going to see things in these video games which are going to take it so far advanced from where it's been that it's going to be truly, truly insane. Mark my words, I will revisit this video one day and I will find out if it truly comes to fruition. But mark my words, I believe truly that when GTA 6 launches, you will see things connected into the AI space that connects to gaming that you've never seen in a video game before. They will well and truly break the internet the way that Kim Kardashian did all those years ago. They will break the internet. They've already broke the internet, but they will break the internet on May the 26th. 2026 when that game launches, and you will see things that you never thought were possible in video gaming. So to conclude this video, I don't think that video gaming is dead, but somewhat what made it special to earlier generations feels a bit lost, or maybe it's you know, more commercialized these days. I would say the magic isn't gone. It's just buried under a pile of battle passes and unfinished betas. But if you know where to look, the soul of gaming is very much alive, and the future is well and truly very bright. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been another video here from me beyond the console. And until next time, I'm out.